All right, it's week 4 of our Alabama legislative sessions. I'm with Senator Paul Bussman. You were super happy last week. What's your mood after this week?
Well, the mood continues. Senate is operating in a very efficient manner. We have a good cooperation between the majority and the minority. We have really good cooperation between each other, and it's a pleasant change. It's a joy to be down there right now. To be honest with you, we're doing things that are getting done that are important. We're passing bills that need to be passed. We're not getting over in the ditch on issues that really don't have any importance to the citizens. So we look like we're going to get to the budgets in the next week or two, and that'll be a good thing. And probably we're going to end up early, which would be a good thing as well.
What do you attribute this high five camaraderie to? This is unheard of.
I think part of it's the election coming up. Part of it has to be that leadership has determined that they really don't want to deal with a whole lot of controversial issues this year. And that's usually where the wheels start coming off, is when you get somebody mad at another person or they don't want something, they try to stop it. We've not really had any controversial bills that have come to the Senate floor yet. All the bills have been, whether you agree with them or don't, they're really not that controversial. And so we've had a good working relationship right now.
Well, you've got some work done, and I think one of them that matters around here is the rural broadband bill. That made it through the Senate, did it not?
We got that out yesterday, and that's a tremendous benefit to the rural communities. You know, all the urban areas like Huntsville and Birmingham and Mobile and Montgomery, with the industries that they have, they've already got this high-powered, high-speed internet and broadband. We don't have that luxury in rural Alabama. And so what this bill did was it gives incentives to companies to move into rural Alabama. And we think that by incentivizing them to do that, they're going to be able to come into the rural areas much easier, which helps us all. I mean, if you're a business and you're trying to run a business and you don't have good internet or good broadband, you're going to have a hard time. We can't get any industry outside of that anymore. I mean, everybody's computerized and technology is important.
Well, when you say incentivize, it makes me think about what municipalities do. They do tax abatements to attract industries. Is this along those lines?
It is. It incentivizes them. It gives them a certain amount of tax credits for equipment that they put in. And we did understand that there could be a tremendous push to do this, and so we smart enough, we capped it at $20 million a year. And we can look at that every year, but you don't want to open that door wide open and then find out you've got $100 million in incentives that you've given out. We want to be careful that we make sure we do it right, but we think it's going to incentivize those companies to get into rural areas and make things a lot easier for us.
Makes sense. Well, I'm going to talk about what I think is a controversial issue, and it seems like it needs to be addressed. It's the state school board. I had a press conference with Shane Barnett, our county superintendent. He couldn't say a lot, but I don't think he's happy with it. I know you're not. And maybe the governor calling you.
No,
okay.
That would be it.
Okay.
That would be it, sorry.
That's right. And so that needs a lot of help, but it's also controversial. How do you think you guys will navigate something to do with the school board?
Well, the first thing, schools are not doing well, in my opinion, because the leadership is terrible. And I don't mean on the local level, I mean on the state level. Our Alabama State Board of Education has done a horrible job over the last couple of years. They've been in a constant battle with their superintendent that they hired, and we have seen the Alabama Reading Initiative and programs that were going really well. They got into it, and they seem to have messed it all up. We have a bill that is coming through the committees right now that would reorganize the Alabama State Board of Education. I think it's a tremendous bill. I think it's got some great potential. What it does, it takes away the board that we have now, and it puts in a 13-member board. 7 of those members are school superintendents, and 6 of those members are members of local school boards. So you would no longer have any more of this pie in the sky stuff. These people would be there. They would be making decisions for the state, but they would also know that they'd have to take it back to their schools and implement those programs. And to me, that's a tremendous way to do it. There's going to be a little controversy in that, of course, but I think as that moves forward, it's something we really need to look at.
That sounds extraordinarily practical, and it would eliminate a lot of fluff and
it does,
and bureaucracy and whatever you want to call it.
And it gets it right down to where the kids are. You got your local superintendents, you got your local school boards. I mean, you can't get any closer to the kids than that.
Well, let's talk about any local action, local bills that you're behind here in District 4.
Well, the only local bill that I've seen that's come up from the House so far has been the Park and Rec bill by the county. The Park and Rec in the county, they do contests, fishing contests. They do things out at the ATV track. They do archery tournaments. And there's a certain way they had to handle their money, and we want to make sure that's handled correctly, and that's what that does. It just clears up some of that. One of the other things that I've got going is a school bus bill that will put about $7,000 per bus per year back into the school systems, and that's working through the process now. If we can get that done, that will be a tremendous help to the schools. We saw one bill this week that is called Emily's Law, which gives cities and municipalities a very clear path to determine a dangerous dog. We have a young lady that was attacked, and right now we don't have a process that we can determine that there is a dangerous dog, or how do you identify a dangerous dog, and what do you do with it when you find that it is declared dangerous. So that's another good thing that's going on. Those are things that impact people's lives. We did have, as we talked last week, the DUI Interlock Bill that went through. That's gone to the House now. That's a very important bill. I've got another bill regarding DUI that's coming up that I will put in next week that helps the judges and the DAs eliminate some of their confusion right now, so they can implement those laws the way they need to be. And so we're excited about that too.
Makes sense. Well, this wraps up week 4. We'll be back for week 5 next time. I appreciate you talking to me.
I hope you have another good week.
Let's hope so.